Hello and welcome to the 2021 Styrian GP analysis for Sergio Perez. Today we'll be having a look at a bit of a summary for the race for Sergio, his race pace and his key battle with Bottas. Starting P4, ending P4, probably a little bit disappointed for Sergio here. Would have thought he'd get the podium ahead of Bottas and definitely had the pace to get to Bottas and overtake him hopefully, but couldn't quite get it done. Second quickest lap of the race, third quickest through the pit lane, but did not win the teammate battle today. Looking at the positives, he was close to Bottas. And prior to the French GP, that was a bit of a challenge sometimes on these traditional race circuits. That's definitely a strength for Perez there, and good to see his progression. And he also played a bit of a strategic role for Red Bull Racing. But looking at the negatives, definitely struggled on the qualifying pace, had to qualify in Q2 on the soft tyres, couldn't get past Bottas. And finally, his pace to Verstappen wasn't that good, but that was the same for Bottas to Hamilton as well. Looking at the strategy, a bit of an interesting strategy from Sergio here. So as we said, starting on the soft tyre due to his struggles in Q2, then going on to the hard tyre, and then coming onto the medium tyre at the end to try and get Bottas, and just couldn't quite get it done. Let's have a look at his lap times here. So through the first stint here, quite a bit slower than Hamilton and Verstappen, especially those first 15 laps. But then found quite a bit of consistency, and then moving on to the hard tyre. Again, quite a bit of consistency until he caught up to the back of Bottas here in lap 46, and couldn't quite get Bottas there despite the fact he was in DRS range. And then on the medium tyres here, you can see some really, really good laps. But to be honest for Sergio, it's probably the back markers that prevented him from getting Bottas in the end, just because he got caught up these one or two laps, and all he needed one more lap and he would have got past Bottas. I think we all saw that, how close it was. But before we got to the Bottas battle, let's have a look at the teammate battle, and this one is definitely very one-sided this weekend. If you look here, gap to Verstappen just increasing lap by lap by lap, unfortunately. And even once Perez put on the brand new mediums, he wasn't even making that much traction into Verstappen. Just shows how strong Verstappen was this weekend. But moving on, the interesting one, and definitely an interesting graph from a strategy point of view, Perez versus Bottas. It really looks like Perez was comfortably ahead through that first stint, but then those first few laps before the pit stop, you can see that Bottas started to catch up quite a bit. And then we saw Red Bull have an issue with the back left Perez in the pit stop, which meant that Bottas could effectively overcut him. Mercedes coming into the pit lane the next lap. And then you saw that gap increase, and then he brought it down, but he couldn't quite get past Bottas, unfortunately. And we all saw there at the race, on the last lap, he was so close, very, very close finish to the line. And one more lap and he would have done it. I think it was pretty clear Bottas didn't have a lot of pace towards the end there. And from a strategy point of view, you've just got to consider Red Bull clearly didn't want to bring Perez in here. They thought he was going to be able to get past Bottas, but then he got stuck there for 5 or 6 laps and he couldn't get past. You just have to wonder if Red Bull had brought Perez in 1 lap earlier or 2 laps earlier, he definitely would have got the job done. But that's really the challenge from a strategy point of view, especially a lap like this, really low lap times. You need to make those calls pretty quickly. And unfortunately for Red Bull, they probably didn't get the strategy right on this one. Just that little bit slow on the call. And if they'd done it a bit earlier, I think it would have been Perez on the podium. Well, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, press subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thank you very much.